Well, first of all, it was the beauty of our coastal areas. I guess the particular turning point was a field trip in Puerto Galera, where I first went on a snorkeling. That was the first time I went snorkeling. And I was just awed with the color initially, the shapes, the different species. And I was practically hooked. I was hoping to go to med school, taking a pre-med course. And after that exposure and subsequent field trips for an organization, I decided to go and pursue a career in research, particularly marine sciences. So it started with, being touched with the beauty and the awesome, you know, diversity of life in the coral reef. At the time, Puerto Galera was still at the early stages of development. We still had the luxury of camping on the beach, looking at the stars at night, watching the sunset without the electric lights in the La Laguna Cove. And so that was a very moving part. So further on, when I took my graduate studies, of course, I worked as a research assistant, and that provided a lot more opportunities to travel all over the country. We were surveying giant clams, studying spiny lobster fisheries, and I began to be aware about more about the fishers and the coastal communities, the human aspect. I was learning so much. They were actually my mentors when I was doing my studies of spine lobsters. I didn't know where to start, so it went from appreciating the beauty to a deep understanding of the social, economic issues and cultural concerns, and the very strong interaction between the ecological natural world and the human, particularly in the developing country, where we have among the poorest sectors fishers after the like just like the farmers, and they live in coastal rural areas. So it's such a stark difference, the beauty of the resources, the richness, and the poverty. And yet the people are so simple and so kind and true. So that was, I guess, the reason is both nature, ecology, but as I learned more, it also became about what can we do to make life better, for coastal communities, the fishers. So, and help find solutions that will balance the, ecological benefits with the socioeconomic, and which is the tricky part of everything. So uh, that's where I learned to find ways of working with the communities, the importance of community participation, actual collaboration with stakeholders. In a developing country setting, it's very different in a developed country setting. You have the luxury of just doing your research, generating knowledge, publishing. But in a developing country setting, you have to do that because you want to be able to contribute to the universal goals. But at the same time, you don't have that luxury. We don't have as much resources, and the stakes are so high in terms of social and economic. So yeah, basically that was an inspiration and continues to be an inspiration, and why I still pursue marine sciences. Uh, but more holistic. Now I'm more focused more than ever on social ecological systems approach, and looking at ways of finding solutions